Puka Nacua equals Deebo Samuel. I was racking my brain at the beginning of the game just saying, who's this guy remind me of? He's not going away. He's here to stay. And we need to discuss in here what his 2024 wide receiver rank is. So drop that in the chat right now. Right now, drop Puka top 4, Puka top 7. What wide receiver rank are you giving him right now for 2024? I want to see numbers right now. I'm going to drag them on screen. Puka Nacua. I racked my brain and I said, this man reminds me of who? And it's Deebo. It really is. When you watch him run, sheds tacklers, finds a way never to get tackled. It's either ushering Deebo or Puka out of bounds, or he finds a way to just keep going down the field, slippery as can be, awkward to tackle. The build is just hard to bring down. And it's an unbelievable thing to watch Puka play. It's scrappy. Deebo's scrappy too. Deebo's not a beautiful route running receiver. Like Deebo it's gritty. It's a wide back. You're watching what appears to be a running back playing wide receiver, but not in the form of a wide receiver. They have a running back body. It's not even a running back body. It's some hybrid. Like Deebo doesn't look like a wide receiver. Deebo doesn't look like a running back. He plays like a running back, catches like a running back, sheds tacklers like a running back. Puka runs routes the same way. These guys are near identical. And some might argue, Puka's better than Deebo for the future. And I don't blame anybody because it is what it is. Like, these are both elite top 10 wide receivers. I want to know where you rank both of them in 2024. Kyren Williams, a top 3 running back in 2024. I want to see votes in the chat as well. Kyren Williams running back what? Kyren Williams running back 3. Reaction show. Rams looking like they've got a desire to make the playoffs, right? Doing work, trying to put their team in the best position. And I feel like this is happening. The Rams are hungry. They can knock off any team on any given Sunday. Maybe they don't have what it takes to go all the way through. I'm not saying they don't, but maybe they don't. But they certainly can beat any team on any given Sunday. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks, live after games. This is after a game. We're reviewing this Thursday game, and unbelievable. I mean, Puka, we got Rock out saying Puka top 6. We got Kyren running back 1. I love seeing all your votes come in. Puka top 10 says Dust. Kyren running back 3 says Theo. Matt says Puka 5, Deebo 10. Puka over Deebo says Philip. I love seeing all these votes. Keep them coming in. Puka top 5 wide receiver. Saints D had -5. Wow. And this is what we talked about with this Rams offense. It doesn't matter who they play. Don't even consider matchup when you look at the Rams and the Rams players. Don't sit there and go, oh, Saints got this D, or next week they play. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference. This Rams offense is different. It's built different. It executes different. Kyren can have 100 yards on any team at any moment. I don't care what the defense looks like. These wide receivers you can't contain. You can maybe contain one of them, but then the other one's going to go nuts. I mean, Cooper Kupp, we don't know what Cooper Kupp's future holds because he'll be 31 years old walking into next season. But, for right now, him and Puka, either one could have 100 and a touchdown. Either one. It doesn't, you try and shut one down, the other one's going to burn you. Guy in my league benched Olave. Well, that's unfortunate for him. Take a lap. Olave had a day. Let's go. That's funny, though, Big Red Machine. Let's go through the stat log real quick. Okay, here's the box score. Let's box score Bobby, this bad boy. Kyren Williams, 22 totes for 104 yards and a rushing touchdown. What an absolute monster. And his receiving stats are as follows. Let me pull those up. I cut it off before I could catch that. Let me see. Kyren had, looks like he didn't have anything through the air. Wow, the Rams only, Higbee, Kupp, Demarcus Robinson had a big day, and Puka were the only pass catchers. That's unbelievable. 4 players caught footballs. That's unreal. I guess I didn't cut it off. I guess I had it appropriately. Yeah, you can actually see the tail end of the header right here. Those are the only 4 players that caught footballs in this game. 9 receptions for Puka Nacua, 164 yards and a touchdown. Demarcus Robinson has really become a really strong flex option or wide receiver 3 for the remainder of the season. 6 receptions for 82 yards and a touchdown. Cooper Kupp, 6 for 52. Respectable. Anytime you get over 10 points, respectable. Tyler Higbee did most of this damage on 1 catch. His long was 22. He only had 30 yards, so he produced 8 more yards on 2 receptions, but that was it looked like it was gonna be a decent day. Stafford 328 for 2 touchdowns, solid day. Carr had 319 and 3 touchdowns and an INT. Kamara was very pedestrian, 5 receptions for 16 yards. Like almost tried to salvage his day if he could have just got some yardage racked up with those 5 receptions, but Kamara definitely got shut down. Olave 9 for 123. So Olave going crazy, Puka Nacua going crazy, Kyren Williams going crazy, and Demarcus Robinson going crazy. Let's go. Look. You got to build your team so that it can withstand some bumps in the road. A lot of these Achane crybaby, let's complain about how Achane only delivered 9-10 points in my scoring format, Smitty, last week. Told you he's garbage. You've got to figure out a way to survive a bump in the road, okay? And it's quite possible that you're going to get occasionally a 5, 6, 7, 10, 12-point game. Cooper Kupp just did it, and it's serviceable. Achane last week, 9 to 10 points, depending on your scoring format, serviceable. Okay? And you're going to have these games. Kamara, look, you got to survive it. You got to figure out a way to survive it. You got to have a team that can step up and carry a player. No one's going to have, usually, it happens on rare occasion when you score like 250 points and have the league record, but no one's going to be electric across the board. Everyone's going to have to carry the weight of another player at some point or another. So if you had Kamara tonight, relax, get through the week. Kamara hopefully blows up next week. You're going to have to figure it out. Maybe we got to make some different decisions. Maybe you need to take a big swing now because Kamara crapped the bed. Whatever the case may be, we'll try and take care of it. But everybody needs to relax. Everybody needs to take a deep breath. Everybody that has some skin in the game right now and you had Kamara will figure it out. For all of you that had freaking Kyren Williams, you absolutely started off your week on a terror. For those of you that had little Puka Nacua, you started your week out on an absolute bender heater. Let's go. For those of you that had Stafford, you did okay. For those that had Derek Carr, God bless you. You did pretty well today considering. Congratulations if you made that you closed your eyes, threw a dart at the dartboard. Good job. All I can tell you is this. We're here to dominate. We're here to figure it out. So buckle up. You've got questions. I've got answers. You'll dial into the phone line in just a minute. We'll take some super chats that are piling up. And let's real quickly, before we get into that. Okay, yeah, the higher on the 0.8 times multiplier Kyren Williams touchdown looked pretty good. We got that sucker taken care of. Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty, where they double your first deposit up to $100. Here's the link if you guys missed out on doing some higher lowers. They're absolutely phenomenal. That link is in the live chat. Let me pin that link right now. Let me pull up the live stream on the additional iPad over here so that I can monitor some things like that in the chat, because I don't see everything in the chat in my system, but I can if I pull up the stream. So let me go ahead and pull that up, and I'm going to pin that live chat link right there for Underdog Fantasy so you guys can get your Underdog on. Let me pin that right now. Link has been pinned. Play Underdog Fantasy. Double your first deposit up to $100 by using the link in the description or the link I pinned in the live chat or using code Smitty. And you crush things like this. Kyren over. Kyren higher on the touchdown. It could have been a receiving, rushing. It felt like taking candy from a baby. Okay? Now, let's get on to these divisions real quickly. I mean, good God. Let's look at this. Actually, let's take a look at the NFC real quick. NFC right here. Rams getting that 8-7 record on the books heading into the weekend. And that's just a fantastic position to be in. Saints lose. That's big that's one wild card potential team that's fighting for a wild card spot out. If the Vikings lose, then the Rams are looking pretty, sitting pretty. Seattle loses, the Rams are sitting pretty. We need the Rams to make it into the 2023/2024 NFL playoffs. Why? Because of Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. Do you understand how many Kyren built teams I have in the playoff mittens on Underdog Fantasy? Do you understand how many Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, and Kyren, all three, and Stafford in some cases, all three players on one mitten roster? Do you know how many teams I have on that? We're rooting for the Rams to make the playoffs. Not to mention, we just want to see more Kyren. We just want to see more Puka Nacua, even little Cooper Kupp. I mean, let's roll. Let's roll. Olave, fantastic day. Did we not do a standing ovation for Olave, by the way? Did we not do a standing ovation? Hold on. Did I not? Yeah, I think I did. I think I at least mentioned it. 9 for 123. If you started Olave. Sorry, Olave. I don't think I left Olave hanging. Dude's got so much upside for the future. Tough to know where he's really at because he's been banged up. He's got kind of a tough situation. Very, very tough to know where to put Olave in terms of a ranking. I would love to know what you guys think of Olave. Where would you rank Olave in 2024 wide receiver context? Is he top 6, top 7, top 9, top 10, number 11, number 15? Drop your Olave ranking and I'll throw it on screen and we'll start looking at that and see what everybody thinks and get the general consensus of what's going on. Yeah, Kyren did get banged up in this game but came right back. It wasn't the concern was there was a concussion because his helmet came off and he got hit when his helmet was off. So it wasn't like something to where he was, he's just injury prone or something. His helmet came off and someone landed on him. I think it was more about his face getting smashed, not any sort of, any sort of concussion. I had Kyren, but my opponent had Puka. Not a good way to start the semis. Hey, man, they both went nuts. They both went nuts. I think it's a pretty damn good way to, maybe tit for tat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Puka had a little bit better day, but two really good outings for both those guys. We wished Kyren had more reception. But, I mean, we're looking at, that's the AFC. Where's the NFC? I just had it up. Rams are in good positioning. Good positioning. I want to say it's got to be over 58, 60%. I think I heard a number somewhere calculated. But the calculations are obviously going to change when the games are played. Not much can change yet. If they ended the week above, let's say Seattle and above Minnesota, if those two teams lose, then that percentage skyrockets. But they have to be around 55, 65% chance of making the playoffs at this point. Everything comes down to Sunday and Saturday and Monday games and et cetera, et cetera. So let's hope for the Rams. They're just such a fun, exciting team to root for, to be honest, in the Cardinals division. But I don't care about that kind of stuff. You know me. I'm all about fantasy. I'm not about any sort of letting some sort of bias take hold of my fantasy football operation. We are a player rooting community, and we don't let goggles get put on us to where we're thinking, oh, this entire team's better than another team. That's not the way this channel rolls. And on this side of the fence, I mean, we got so much going on. Buffalo's trying to grab this spot. Cleveland's trying to maintain this spot, this wild card spot that they have pretty much feeling as closely in the bag as you could have it at 9-5. I don't think they lose one of those 3 wild card spots. But the real question will be, who wins the South? Is Jacksonville win the South? Or the Colts win the South? Can the Houston Texans with Nico Collins likely back but Stroud out? Can the Houston Texans win a game, put Stroud back on the field, and have him close out the last 2 games to win the division? Can the Texans even claim a wild card spot if they lose this game? So much on the table. Broncos got to lose. The Bengals are 8-6. They're certainly in the mix as well. Buffalo, the Bengals, the Jaguars, the Colts, the Texans, all 8-6. It's such a close race in the AFC. This is such an exciting, wild card showdown, if you will. Such an exciting one. I love this. I'm living life right now. This is probably the most exciting part of the end of the season for me. I love fantasy, obviously. You guys know how much I'm passionate about fantasy, but I love football. I love good football. And when everybody starts getting all upset about their teams losing, I find enjoyment in every facet of this game. I find enjoyment in the news aspect. I literally could just do a news show at some point down the road, and it just be such a popular, thing that I could see that happening. I could see myself literally, we do fantasy, but I can see myself, I consider the 8 p.m. show a news show. I really do consider that a news show. When someone says, oh, I'm not really into fantasy, do you like the NFL? Yeah, I do. Well, the 8 p.m. show is a news show. I like to coin it a news show. I take pride in it being a news show. And I love talking about football, who's on the move, free agency, the NFL draft, ranking rookies. That's more exciting to me than anything. And I kind of hope that some of you feel the same way. And of course, we'll do fantasy along the way. Of course, we're always going to answer fantasy questions. But good God, absolutely excited about this down to the wire wild card race in the NFC and the AFC. Let's hit these super chats, and then we'll open some phone calls. This right here is from Joe Salter's first super chat of the evening.
Mashed potatoes.
Joe doing Joe things. Started Stafford and Olave Smitty, 50 points. Let's freaking go, Joe. Good God, Joe. Olave to the moon, bro. Olave to the moon. Joe to the moon. Joe stock is up. You might want to get you some Joe stock because it's up, pal. Going Chuba over Monty this week. Huge game. Look, I don't hate that take. I would love to get the chat vote, though. Guys, can you vote in the chat? Chuba, Hubbard, or Monty this week? I lean Monty slightly. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to confuse you or sway you because I'm slightly. If you lean Chuba heavily, don't let me influence you. But let's get a chat vote. To the moon, Smitty. Need to start sit help. Need 2 from McBride, Chandler, Higgins, Singletary, JSN, McKinnon. I kind of lean toward Chandler and Singletary for safety, Chandler and McBride for high risk, high reward. I don't think I like Higgins a lot. Let's put Higgins in there too. Can we get a vote, guys? Please rank in order. I need your help here. This is a chat geared question. It has to be because it's too tough to leave to one man. We need to help Herb out on this one. Please rank these 4 in order. McBride, Chandler, Higgins, Singletary. I need everybody to drop a ranking for Herb. Herb, because I want to give you my take anyway, I lean toward Chandler and probably Singletary slightly. If it's full PPR, Higgins enters this conversation, but God, he had such a good week last week, and he's got his head on straight for the first time in a while. I really do like Higgins if it's full PPR. This one's tough. Let's come back to that. I'm going to shrink this down, look at the chat, and then come back and give a final answer. I admittedly am going to let the chat help influence me on this one because I'm damn near feeling that's dead even across the board. We got Ron Navy dropping a super chat. I said Puka and Dell last night, and it was laughed at in the chat. I have A.T. Perry on both my BB4 teams and the big board team. Lucky me. What do you mean laughed at? You mean when we're doing the overall rank? You probably got laughed at by one person that no one agrees with, though. Everyone likes Puka Nacua. I don't think Dell. No one laughed at your Dell take. We said Dell in the top 5 or 6 overall was just a little bit too early, just a smidge too early, though. But I don't think anybody's laughing at it, Ron. We all love those 2 guys. But there probably was some clown in the chat laughing at Puka. But, that's not from anybody that meant anything, bro. Freddie with a $20 holler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$20 super chat. $20.
Freddie, my boy, Freddie. Hey, Smitty, 10-man PPR. Please set my lineup in the playoffs. 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs. Kyren locked. Nice job. 2 flexes, Adams, Rice, and Garrett Wilson, London, Chandler. Okay, so you got Kyren locked. My other lock running back, K9's injured, so you got to monitor that, bro. You got to monitor that. Let's see. Fields of Dreams with the 8-month membership question. Appreciate you, Bears or Colts. I'm going to go Colts. They've been on fire. Thank you for that question. I'm going to say, so 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. So Adams and Rice are your 2 wide receivers. Chandler and Kyren are your 2 running backs. And your 2 flexes have to be probably have to, if K9's healthy, you're playing K9. Adams and Rice are your receivers. I'm probably going K9 and Garrett Wilson. Hubbard's pretty safe though. If you want to go like if a K9's out, I throw Hubbard in. You could go Garrett Wilson and K9, or you could go Garrett Wilson and London. It comes down to that. Everybody else is locked in. If it were me, I would go K9 if he plays and Garrett Wilson. And if K9 doesn't play, I'm going to put in London. Appreciate your super chat. Thank you so much for the $20 hauler. This $5 from Gerardo. Appreciate you, bro. Let's see what the chat said on this vote here. What did everybody say on this vote? Chandler, McBride, Higgins, Singletary, Higgins. It looks like McBride was definitely in the top 2 for the most part. Vampy, have I talked about Kenneth Walker yet? Not really. He popped up on the injury report, but he's we'll have to see. There's definitely like some question of whether he's going to go. Wheel Snipe Selly, I saw you call in. Dial in again. I just answered and then it hung up. So Wheel Snipe, call in one more time. Okay, let's see here. Need 1 flex. Need some 1-4 flex and T. Higgins, Zay Flowers, Marquise, Hollywood Brown, JSN, Chase Brown, Cole Kmet, Washington. Need someone for a flex. T. Higgins. I'd probably go T. Higgins. I go T. Higgins. T. Higgins has earned it in this grouping. I mean, Flowers any given moment could go do really, really well, but like T. Higgins definitely, with Chase out, definitely earns the nod there. Start 1 half PPR, Jacobs, Achane, Rashad White. Rashad White is the safest play there, but I find a way to get Achane in there as well. But Rashad White is a lock. He's just playing too well to keep him off the field. That's coming from a big Achane believer and supporter. But like, you can't sit Rashad White. What's up, Smitty? Went against Puka and Cup, so I'm in a little hole. Mullins or Flacco? Probably go Flacco barely, but I mean Mullins is capable, bro. He really could do something somewhat decent. Also, Hall, K9, Swift, Chandler, bench 1. If I'm benching one of those right now, it's K9 because he's banged up. But if, like, let's say there's news that he's not going to be hampered at all, because right now he's banged up, like he could get half to work or something, I'm probably sitting K9 until I find convincing evidence that he's not going to be hampered. We'll have another super chat from either team. Okay, Andre, appreciate you, broski. Thanks for dropping a double. Fields of Dreams dropping a super chat on top of having the 8-month membership. Fields love Browning, 0.5, Dak on waivers. Dak on waivers? Yeah, you got to grab Dak. Dak is like full low drop on Dak. Dak's your guy. If for any reason you miss out on Dak, I'd probably go Fields for upside in this game. Browning's safe, but I'm probably going Fields for upside. I don't think I hesitate on using Fields in that scenario if you don't get Dak. But Dak is absolutely 100% the play. Go grab him, pick him up, and especially for the coming up weeks. I don't know if you're in some sort of like survivor league, because that's what that seems like to me, because there's no way he should be available. Will Snipe Selly, what's up, my guy? What can I do for you, Will Snipe?
Bro, first of all, it's ridiculous that you only got, 965 thumbs up? Come on, dude.
That's true. That's true.
Like everybody that's in the room right now, just take one quick second and hit thumbs up.
That's true.
There's 289 people in here. We should be able to get it to 100 thumbs up in 30 seconds or less.
Let's see if Wheel Snipe Selly, who, let me just say, Wheel Snipe Selly has gifted so many exclusive memberships. Like, I think his one request should be granted here. Let's see if we can go from 65. What's the number you want in 30 seconds?
1, 2, 3.
123 thumbs up
Yes,
in
sir.
30 seconds. Go. So
Let's
we
go.
have 74 right now. 86. Wheel Snipe City. Whatever he says happens.
Let's go.
What's going on? 86.
Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
This guy's gifted
Come
so many YouTube
on.
exclusive memberships. I think we owe it to him.
Come on.
It's his only request. He comes
Come
in.
on,
we
dude.
jumped to 8. We
Just
jumped to
hit
86.
123 thumbs up.
92.
Please.
92. We got
1, 2, 3.
14 seconds
1, 2,
left.
3. That's all I want.
13
Come on.
seconds. 12.
289 people. That's less than half.
We're at
less
90.
than half.
97. 97 thumbs up.
1, 2, 3, baby. 1, 2, 3, baby. Let's go.
That's all he wants.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
104.
Come on.
We got 8
We can
seconds
do
left.
it. We can do it. 1, 2, 3, baby. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
Will Snipe is the best. 112. We almost made it. I think they're still going to straggle in.
All
So
right.
we'll
all
count.
right,
We'll
all
count.
right. At least we're triple digits. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's good.
So
116.
anyhow, the whole reason I called is because, I talked to you earlier, and I honestly was going to go Calvin Ridley because I, reached out for that guy. I grabbed him in the third. And I actually have autographed things from Calvin Ridley and the Falcons in my closet thinking they were collector's items, because that's how I feel about him as a player. So I'm not going to blame you for drafting him at the 33rd pick. You know what I mean? But that's where I drafted him, and I would have drafted him earlier because I thought he was going to just explode for, top receiver of the year.
Yeah.
But you told me today, fuck it, dude. I get it. You like Calvin Ridley. Bench him for Puka.
Which let's be fair.
And I had Kyren and Puka in my starting lineup today, and I think I got 45 points,
Well,
and I would have been happy with 30.
That was
And
a must play.
Bench Puka.
You had to do that.
It's all
though.
you, bro.
No,
it's
but
all you, bro.
look, you had to play Puka. Puka was the much better play.
was
But
gonna
you were
bench him.
wavering. You were wavering. I had to slap you around a little bit. But
I had him bench Calvin Ridley, baby, because he's going to get 15 targets.
No. We're not. From now on, Puka is always your starter. Make sure you keep him locked in there and throw away the key.
I think I might keep him. I think I might keep these two guys.
of
I got
course
two
you will.
keepers in this league. I
Of
might
course
keep
you
these
will.
two fucking Rams.
Of course you will. All right, Wheel Snipe, what else you got, bro?
That's it, man. I just love you, man.
All right, appreciate you. Hey, you can hang on hold if you want. Just mute yourself and you can kind of sit on the panel if you want. I got Ron Navy here. Ron Navy, you're
Word.
live. Two
Word.
big super chat monster whales on the same call. Ron Navy,
What's up, Smitty?
what's up?
Man, I tell you what, it's going to be a sweat come Christmas Day. And come Christmas Day, some of us might be getting some Christmas gifts from Underdog. You never know.
Yeah, I hope so.
3 Monday games to finish out Week 16.
Man, I got to
See
start
if any of
betting,
us
man.
that Week 16.
Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. If you guys want your early Christmas gifts, get on over to them. Get on over there and do some higher lows. Do some fantasy drafts. I can't tell you both how many teams I have. Puka, Cooper Kupp, and Kyren, all three on my mitten teams. I have so many of them. And I have a feeling I'm not gonna be able to do that anymore after tonight. So I'm just happy I got enough of the. You what?
There's going to be a lot of people that have them because they're just phenomenal. But so the rate of people having those players are going to be very high.
Well, yeah, but they were going in the final 7, 8, 9, 10 rounds. So what I'm saying is I think I built the best possible team I could build on top of getting Puka, Kyren, and Kupp. And so I think I have a huge advantage with those three teams. I know other people are going to grab them. They did get drafted eventually by somebody. But to get those high-value players that late on top of, man, I'm so pumped about those teams. I got one team where I've got different versions. I've got the Buffalo Bill, Josh Allen, Diggs, and I got Gibbs and Laporta and St. Brown, and then I've got Puka, Kyren, Kupp. And then I've got other versions of it where I've got Hurts and Deebo and a whole bunch of other players. And then I got those 3 as well. And then I got one I drafted tonight during the game. Like by halftime, I had it all locked down where I drafted Mahomes, Kelsey, Rashee Rice, Pacheco, McKinnon. So I got the entire KC team. And obviously I'm banking on that for this particular draft. And then I've got all the Ram players. I got Gibbs. I've got St. Brown. I've got I just feel good about it. I feel really good about this mitten. And you guys want to draft too. The link's pinned in the live chat. The mittens are what you're looking for. You go to the Underdog app. After you click the link, it downloads it, and it doubles your first deposit up to 100 if you use that link that's pinned. And then you go to the mitten draft. It's like one of the last cards, I think. You just on the main draft menu. Just swipe the cards till you get to mitten. Click mitten, and you're drafting for the playoffs. You got to win each round though, so you can't just draft all KC players, let's say, or let's call it Niner players. So you know the Niners are going to have a bye in round 1, and if you draft all Niner players, you won't make it to see them do well because you'll get knocked out in the wild card week. So you have to survive every single round. So it's a strategy fest. Just an absolute strategy fest. Wheel Snipe Selly just dropped 5 gifted memberships.
To the moon.
On the phone.
5.
On the phone. And he dropped 25. I'm sorry, he dropped 25. 25. I apologize, Wheel Snipe.
To the moon.
Do you believe that the one team that I got through the BB4 this week, none of the other 15 teams I'm going up against had Kyren Williams? None of them.
That's crazy, man.
And I got 54 points, and I'm in first place right now with Derek Carr of all people. Derek Carr, Olave, bless his heart, and A.T. Perry with that 10 gave me 10 points for that long 35-yard touchdown.
That's great, man. Nice job. Mark with the 8-month membership says, Puka, Mark, appreciate you. Wheel Snipe Selly drops another 10. Okay, guys, dial into the phone line real quickly. Let me get through these super chats if you guys don't mind. Hang tight real quickly. Okay, this one says, from Fields of Dreams in playoffs, someone dipped their whole team, JT, Puka, Lockett, Amari, Stevenson, Chandler on waivers due to the let's see here. I don't know what some of this is saying. Okay. So, you're explaining maybe why that we're talking about that other player being available. I got you. So, yeah, Puka needs to be grabbed. God, you got to grab Puka. Puka's the number one ad here. The second one to add would probably be Chandler, to be honest. I think Chandler quietly, and he could crap the bed at the expectation level we have of Chandler, but I mean, good God, he could literally be like a league winner at that running back 2 type of tier and level. He really could. Start 5, sit 2. Pollard, Brees, Laporta, Rashee Rice, Ty Chandler, McBride, Swift, London, which D, Bears, Broncos, Colts. I go Colts. Colts have been a favorite of mine the last few weeks. Start 5, sit 2. So I'm going to go Brees Hall, Pollard, Laporta, Rashee Rice, and Chandler. Okay, then I got to rethink this. No, Brees goes to the bench because you got, man, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what you do here because McBride, you almost doesn't matter. You almost want to play him no matter if it's a flex or not. Like McBride and Laporta are both startable wide receivers in a flex rule. Absolutely. Swift, London. Okay, so I think it's probably between Brees Hall, Pollard, and McBride. You got to sit one of those guys. You can't sit Laporta. You can't sit Rashee Rice. You can't sit Ty Chandler, in my opinion, unless Madison makes a miraculous recovery and can play, but he looks totally out. So if the chat could vote Pollard, Brees, McBride in an order in which you would place them, let's give Jester the best of advice he can get in terms of which player to sit. So Pollard, Brees, and McBride, and Swift. Pollard, Brees, McBride, Swift. Rank those 4 for Jester, please. Jester, I kind of lean toward Pollard, Brees, Laporta, Rice, Chandler. But, man, sitting Swift, sitting McBride, I hate doing it. It's such a tough call. Pacheco, Zeke, and DK or Adams. I go Pacheco over Zeke. Easy call for me. DK or Adams. I probably lean. I guess I lean DK by a hair. But that's a really tough one. It's a really tough one. Garrett Wilson versus the Commanders or Likely versus the Niners. I probably go with Garrett Wilson by a hair. I do very much like Likely. McBride just tore up the Niners, so it's not like a tight end can't do well against that Niners defense. Not to mention the Niners defense is good, but they're not necessarily going to shut everybody down. They're just opportunistic. They feed off of the offense. Teams get worn down, and the mistakes get made, and the Niners pick off plays, take it, house, etc. So it's not like they're a team that's going to lock down everybody. Likely could have a very good game. Plus, if the Niners are up big, which I don't know, that they could lose this game. Baltimore Ravens and Niners, it's such a good matchup. Either team could win. But let's say the Niners were up, then Likely's going to see a lot of targets. If the Niners are not up and it's a close game, I still think Likely's going to see a lot of targets. So maybe you say Likely is a safer option. Garrett Wilson's the bigger swing, bigger chance of risk, bigger chance of a whiff, but maybe a tad more upside. So if you need safety, go Likely. Second team favorite, Garrett Wilson, DK, Higgins, Pollard, Hawkinson. Need a wide receiver and tight end and a flex. Already starting Gibbs, ETN, JJ. Thanks again, Smitty. Thank you. Appreciate you, Andre. So you need a wide receiver, tight end, and a flex. Okay, so your wide receiver easily is DK. Your tight end is going to be Hawkinson, obviously. And then your flex is going to be probably Pollard or Higgins. I would probably lean. What do you guys like? Ron, Pollard or Higgins this week? Short answer.
Pollard or Higgins? Probably Higgins.
Wheel Snipe City, what do you like? Pollard or Higgins?
Higgins for sure, dude.
Travis Rowe, Higgins or Pollard?
Pollard.
Theo from Illinois, Higgins or Pollard? Short answer.
Higgins.
Higgins, man, it's a divide. In PPR, I'd maybe slightly lean Higgins. If it's not half PPR or non-PPR, then I'm probably going Pollard. But it's that close. It really is that close. But very, very, very solid
Remember,
team.
Cincinnati's playing my sorry-ass Steelers this week.
Yeah.
They're giving up a
and
lot.
And for sure, Pollard's safer just because of his position.
Yeah. This week, T. Higgins or Jacoby Myers. I'm going to go T. Higgins. Jacoby's solid, but T. Higgins is...
That guy's fluky.
Yeah, T. Higgins is in a zone. When he does get in a zone, he does well. And really, with Chase out, he's going to probably stay in the zone. Pending the above, so. Who at flex? Likely Higgins or Jacoby Myers, Ty Chandler, Gus Edwards. Let me just say this: as much as I'm going to hammer home Ty Chandler as the pick here, T. Higgins is the wide receiver play, and then the flex will be Ty Chandler. Gus Edwards is a freaking solid, steady play. I'd almost say Gus is safer than Chandler and everybody else on this board because with Keaton Mitchell out, they're feeding the man touchdowns. But will he get them? I don't know. But if there are touchdowns to be had, this man's going to eat them up. So Gus has that 2 or 3D touchdown potential any given game going forward. He certainly doesn't, he could have 100-yard games, but he's more likely going to be that 40, 50-yard rusher with the 2-3 touchdowns. But I'd say give me Chandler. The upside's massive. But you are not crazy to go with Gus Bus. And if anybody has Gus Bus, do not be afraid to use him this week. Chris with a super chat had Kyren, Stafford, Kamara tonight. Good Deebo, or got Deebo, Rasheed Rice, James Cook, McBride. Need one wide receiver, Wilson, Smith, or Chris Godwin. I'd probably go Devonta Smith without hesitation. I mean, I like Garrett Wilson. I like Godwin, but I love Devonta Smith. This is not even I don't stutter or hesitate whatsoever. This one coming from Wheel Snipe City in the building. $10 holler from Wheel Snipe on the phone.
To the moon.
He could ask me the question, but instead he super chats it because he's a monster. He says, "Hey, bro." Hey, Wheel Snipe. What's up? I really want you to stop doing text. Can you say right now you will stop that? You will stop that. Thanks, Will Snipe.
Yeah, dude, just be done with text, bro. We need you to be researching shit, not texting people.
All right, thank
so
you. Will.
Just say it right now, live on the air.
I can't.
I
can't quit my text service on the people in the middle of the season.
I want you to quit doing
But
text.
For anybody watching,
And
that might go away for
record.
2024.
Now it's on the record.
Okay, Ridley, Garrett Wilson, or Deontay. Let's go to Wheel Snipe City, who loves Ridley a lot. Are you starting Garrett Wilson? We're not starting Deontay. Are we starting Garrett Wilson over Ridley or Ridley over Garrett Wilson?
Ridley, absolutely. Because he's going to get more than 10 targets.
Yeah, but with T-Law maybe not playing, though, bro.
Well, I think that Garrett Wilson is I think Garrett Wilson is arguably the 5th best wide receiver in the NFL.
Well, but right now he can't play that way. But
Who
hey,
gives a shit?
To be fair, Garrett Wilson and Ridley will both be without their quarterback. So I probably
the big deal here is that Kirk maybe gets Ridley more open, but with him not there, I mean, Evan Ingram, I'm a New York Football Giants fan. Fuck that guy. He's got fumbleitis.
a family show. A family show. Wheel Snipe. We got.
My apologies.
And it really isn't a family show. It's more about monetization. But okay. So
my apologies.
Yeah. Ridley over Garrett Wilson. Okay. Ron Navy. Ridley over or Garrett Wilson.
Ooh, that's tough.
Wheel Snipe with another 10 gifted memberships.
I can't go with Deontay either because Mason Rudolph's the quarterback this week too. So yeah. I'm skeptical on all three. If I guess Garrett Wilson if T-Law don't play.
This is a tough one. Let's go over to Travis Rowe, Garrett Wilson or Ridley. Both quarterbacks probably out. So we're talking about the janitor throwing to each one of these guys.
Oh, yes. So what would it be, Simeon for the Jets? Who would be playing for the Jets?
Yeah. Let me just triple check on the Simeon. Yeah, Trevor Simeon.
Either way for me, I think if T-Law plays, I play Ridley. Otherwise, I play Wilson.
Let's go over to Theo. Theo, which one, Ridley or Garrett Wilson? Assume T-Law's out.
I'd go Wilson by a hair.
God, split. All these are split. These are how tough they are. These are 50-50 calls. People wonder why I struggle with them, and I ask the audience is because, I mean, geez, man, we can't even get the audience to agree or even a panel of phone people. I would say, you know what? I'm gonna say Ridley. Only because I think Garrett Wilson. I think it's gonna be tough to get consistency out of Garrett Wilson with the change at quarterback. I think they run the ball a lot. I think they try and run the ball a lot with Breece Hall. I think Ridley. I don't know. It's so tough. Ridley
does get wrecked.
Ridley by a hair.
Yeah, Ridley could go off. Like you saw what London did to Tampa and a couple other teams.
Yeah, Ridley by a hair.
Throwing like crazy.
It's close. If Garrett Wilson had Zach Wilson and Ridley had no T-Law, I would lean Garrett Wilson. But when they both don't have their quarterback, I feel like the Jets are going to fold like a paper chair. But unless they run the ball well with Breece, and then we're excited because Breece Hall is a big day. That's the only hope they have is if they run the ball with Breece, do it right, and the defense helps win the game. That's the only hope they have. Mike, I'm sorry, it's a tough call. We're all torn on it.
You make a really good point, because of how bad the Jets have been without Wilson. Like that does say a lot.
To the moon.
Yeah, I just don't know. What were you saying, Ron? And then I got to get to these 3 super chats real quick.
I was against Deontay last week when the question came up, and Deontay actually finished wide receiver 18 with over 16 fantasy points. He had a touchdown. In this case, maybe Johnson. Maybe Johnson's the best bet.
I mean, it's not a bad take. I mean, but
the thing I don't like about Mason Rudolph is he sails the ball a lot. He sails it, And, I mean, I like him better than Trubisky, though. but
Hospital Ball City.
He does stay on the ball.
All right. Skyward, appreciate you. $10 hauler. Happy holidays. Eating good tonight. Started Puka and Kyren today. It's a good day for you. Got Hurts, Kyren, JT, AJB, Puka, Swift, Hawkinson in 0.5 PPR 1 flex. Torn on Swift versus the Giants or Bijan Indy. Bijan's got a good matchup, but he had a great matchup last week and did nothing. So I think you just got to lean Swift right now and say, you know what? You're making a logical choice. You're talking about a team that needs to prove themselves this week in the Eagles, and I think that they potentially put Swift in a good position. I like Bijan a lot as a player. I think his future is bright. I do not think that they're going to keep Arthur Smith, but you never know. Right now, we're looking to 2024 for Bijan, or if you're in a position where you don't have a Swift, like you're talking about, you're choosing between Chuba Hubbard, and then I'm probably going Bijan. But when we're talking about Swift, he's still playing well, kind of got rejuvenated, rested up. I like Swift this week. I think the Eagles make a statement, so that would be my choice. But you're not crazy to go either way. If K9 is out, start Charbonnet or Chuba. If K9 is out, I'm starting Charbonnet. Charbonnet's going to have a day. So, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. But Charbonnet will be a fantastic play. And this one by Andre, my last super chat, the wide receiver tight end was one position. So if I just need two guys, one in the wide receiver tight end slot and in the flex, where's my $20 hauler celebration? I sent two $10 haulers. Well, normally we don't add them up to give a 20 all the time, but sometimes when I remember I do, so we'll give you your $20 celebration. Absolutely.
Alert. Super chat alert.
And let me go find your other question. Put it in the super chat and question if you can, so I don't have to figure out how to find the other one. Hold on one second, bro. Let me see. My last super chat, the wide receiver tight end was one position, so I just need two guys. One in the wide receiver tight end slot and the other in the flex. Okay, so I think this is it. Yeah, just re-ask it in this question versus, because it sometimes even gets more confusing. Garrett Wilson, DK, Higgins, Pollard, Hawkinson. Okay, I got you. So Hawkinson and probably DK. No. Well, are we starting Hawkinson, gentlemen, over Pollard and Higgins, or are we going Higgins or Pollard over Hawkinson? I think DK's your lock. But if you had to choose between, let's start with Ron Navy. Quick answers, please. Higgins, Pollard, or Hawkinson? Pick one. Assume it's PPR.
Ooh, that's tough. I like Hawkinson.
Wheel Snipe Selly, we going Higgins here? I think he's going to say Higgins.
A lot of.
What?
Pollard.
Pollard. Okay, Pollard. Nice. Theo, you like Higgins, Hawkinson, or Pollard?
I think Hawkinson's the safest, but Pollard or Higgins for upside.
Travis?
Hawkinson.
Yeah, I think I agree with it, and I hate to give a double talk answer as I call it. Hawkinson safe if you need safe, but if like the matchup is such that you need to take a big swing, I'd probably lean Higgins in full PPR, and if half PPR, I would lean Pollard if you needed a big swing. Hawkinson for safety, but I really do like Higgins right now, and I just think Browning's playing very well. They clearly have a good rapport. It's easy to say, Higgins disappears from time to time, and he does. But I mean, damn, man, right now he looks solid. He looks really, really solid. So, Wheel Snipe City dropping another $10. I choose you number one and Barry at number two. Barry, I don't know if you've seen Barry comes on the show about once a year, Wheel Snipe. So, if you are kind of new to the channel, right? So, I'll try and get Barry on here in the off season. He usually comes on at least once a year. Thank you for the $10 hauler. Wheel Snipe to the moon.
To the moon.
I don't know if you're there, Will Snipe. You still there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wayne, Noah Brown, Devin Singletary, Jaden Reed. Which one for flex? I think Singletary's earned this. I love Jaden Reed, though. He's fantastic. He's a watered-down version of Deebo. I don't mean that in a negative way. Just I don't want to call him Deebo. You can call Puka Deebo. Puka and Deebo are pretty much the same player. And we can say that. We can actually put that on the board. But I think Jaden Reed is a watered down version, like a poor man's version, which is still very productive, very fun, very exciting. But Singletary's on a tear, and he seems to have guaranteed volume, and he's so exciting. He won that game on a overtime monster long touchdown run that got called back, and then they kicked the field goal to win the game. But he literally had, like, this is a team that trusts him when the game is on the line, so you know the carries are guaranteed. So I'm going to go Singletary for the current moment. You got to live in the moment sometimes in fantasy. You know, next year's next year, but right now Singletary's in a groove. Swift or Mostert, you cannot sit Mostert. Mostert is a top. Doesn't matter. Again, this is like living in the moment too. Mostert's 31 years old. Mostert will be 32 next year. We'll address Mostert in the offseason. A complete avoid if someone's going to spend top 5 to 7, top 7, 8 running back value. But in the moment, he's a top 3, 4 running back. So you don't even hesitate. Higgins or Ridley, I'm going to go Higgins. If Ridley had T-Law, it'd be a debate. But right now, Higgins is Browning's trusted target. So these are easy calls, Carlos. All right. Let's hit the phone line. Let's go over to Travis Rowe. Travis, you're live. What question do you have today?
If K9, well, I guess the first question would you play K9 or Chandler?
K9's banged up, obviously. So if K9 plays and we have no clarification, like we just hear he's active, we don't like hear any sort of like, hey, he's not going to be hampered. He's 100%. He's off the injury report. You know what I mean? Like we'll hear tomorrow, K9's no longer on the injury report. That would be an indication. If we don't hear that, if we're kind of left in limbo, Ty Chandler by a mile.
Right.
And even if K9's no longer on the injury report, we know he's not healthy, like fully. So like injury reports are kind of BS in a way.
Plays?
You what?
If Charbonnet plays, you play Chandler over Charbonnet if K9 sits.
Okay, so you have Charbonnet too. Charbonnet, Chandler.
Yeah.
I'd probably play Chandler, man. I love Charbonnet, right, but I don't know. Does anybody else disagree on that? Let me go to Wheel Snipe City. You playing Chandler or a solo starting Zach Charbonnet? Chandler. He says Chandler.
To the moon.
Chandler. Theo from Illinois. Short answer, I'm coming to you for your main question in a second. Are you starting a solo starting Zach Charbonnet or a Chandler?
Honestly, I'd go Chard, but I really like Chandler.
Can I ask you a question? Do you have Charbonnet on a few teams? No,
I don't have him on any.
Okay, I just wanted to get the bias factor and measure it out. Ron Navy, Chandler or a solo starting Zach Charbonnet?
Chandler.
And let's see. Oh, yeah. And Travis, what were you saying?
That was my question.
Okay. Yeah, but what do you think? Like, what's your initial take?
Oh, right now I'm actually starting Chandler over K9, so I would probably just leave Chandler in there, even over Charbonnet.
Yeah, I don't know.
Good.
I was gonna say my gut leans toward that they're gonna play both, but you never know. I mean, it did feel like Walker kind of popped up, like something happened and we haven't heard about or why.
Yeah, it looks good. But,
they're both great. My hope for you would be that they score the exact same, and they both are elite running back twos this week, and that way you don't stress about it for nothing. Okay, hold on one second, Travis. Let me go over to Theo from Illinois. He's been waiting patiently, answering questions when we call upon him. Theo from Illinois, you're live. What's your question?
Would you start Broncos at New England, Broncos at home against New England, Colts at Atlanta, or Eagles at home against the Giants?
So my natural instincts to say Colts. I've been saying them for pretty much every Colts-related defensive question for the last two weeks or whatever. I think the Eagles are hungry.
I'm having trouble hearing.
Ziggy off. He interrupts all the time. Part of me wonders what he's doing half the time. Like, is he? I don't know. I'd probably say Colts, bro. The reason I probably say Colts is that like they're fighting for a wild card spot. They're sitting at 8-6, just like the other 6 teams that are 8-6. Minshew's probably gonna have a decent day. And I just think they're playmakers, man. They're opportunistic. I like the Eagles a lot, but until they get out of their rut, I'd rather trust the Colts while they're going off and looking solid. And granted, you know, they haven't been as good the last 2 weeks as they were the 4 weeks prior, but I don't put too much. I don't consider too much like a 2-game stint. I think they're still the team. You didn't say
also,
you didn't say Bills D, did you? Didn't say Bills D, did you?
No.
Okay. Somebody said Bills in the chat.
And when are you gonna do 7 through whatever for the rankings?
What am I gonna do? What?
The rankings, the poll rankings, because that was super fun.
Oh yeah, I got to try and
draft
continue that
well.
on. I'll have to see. I definitely would like to continue that on. So hopefully, maybe tomorrow. All right, thanks, Theo. Appreciate you, bro. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna circle around the phone line, let everybody get a final say. I might open the phone lines up again briefly for a 30-second bit. So let's go over to Wheel Snipe City, who's been dropping his super chats. I don't even know how many you've dropped. I don't even know what you've done since you've been on the phone, to be honest. So don't take offense if I didn't say thank you to something. You've been dropping them like behind my back, like just left and right. They've been zipping by me. 10 gifted memberships here, super chat here. Wheel Snipe City, thank you for everything you dropped tonight. What can I do for you? Final thoughts, final statement, final plea, final Wheel Snipe City mic drop. Go.
I'm only here because I appreciate the hard work that you do that makes me better at fantasy football.
Thank you.
That's it, bro.
Thank you, Will Snipe. I appreciate you. All right, phone line's open to you anytime, pal. Later.
Thank you.
Let's go over to Travis Rowe. Final thoughts, my guy. Anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to ask? Any comments you want to make? Any predictions? Any Kyren or Puka takes or Olave takes, given that those are the men of the hour?
No, I'm a little off topic, but it's because one of the Dynasty league I'm in. Do you prefer JSN or Addison long term?
JSN or Addison? Oh.
Yeah. I know
it's so
close.
tough because their quarterback situations are both up in the air. Even if we assume that Cousins returns, which logically you've got to think that his market value is plummeted. You know, he was going to be able to go kind of wherever he wanted to some degree, but the Achilles recovery,
right.
At his age and everything, it's going to put a damper on his the attractiveness of bringing him in. But his progression will have something to do with that. How ready does he look by the time, it comes down to it? He could wait a while to sign to make sure he, proves he's healthy and all that. I also think he does part of him, like he didn't want to be traded during the season. He has a no trade clause. He basically said, I'm not going anywhere. So that was a good indication that he likes Minnesota. His family likes Minnesota. He wants to stay in Minnesota. That's been made abundantly clear. Doesn't mean he doesn't want to go get the bag, though. Money can certainly talk, and he's still got a lot of time to come back and live in Minnesota. He doesn't even have to uproot his family from Minnesota. He can fly and travel or whatever. But the one thing I'd say is that Justin Jefferson has said he wants Cousins. That's who he wants. He wants Cousins. The Vikings are probably going to go out of their way to try and make that work, I would imagine. But so much depends on his health. So Addison should have a good quarterback situation at the end of it all, I assume, but it's not guaranteed. It's not a lock. Who the hell knows? I think he's been better with JJ around than not. He's a very good compliment right now. I don't know that he's the best elite number one wide receiver for his team. Not that he couldn't get there, but he does amazingly when he's able to see second best corners and slip around the secondary and be, running specific routes that his role would run. He's probably better off in the situation he is versus number one there anyway. JSN's probably my pick, but only because I don't know. What I see in him, I feel like, I don't know. This is close, bro. This is close.
I feel like Lockett's still going to be there next year, I think, right? He's not a free agent. But
he's
like, for example, if Lockett was gone and he was the number 2, I think he'd explode.
Yeah, but are you asking this you're asking this from a dynasty perspective and not just 2024, or are you asking this from 2024? Because if you're asking me from a dynasty perspective, Lockett doesn't play that big of a part in it. If it's 2024 alone, then I'm going to say Addison. If it's 2024 alone, I'm going to say Addison. Right. If it's dynasty, I'm going to say by a hair, and I'm literally like wavering as I say it, JSN.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, because right now I have someone trying to trade me JSN for Addison, but I would want something else with him probably, just because he's been better,
Yeah, Lockett.
I think dynasty-wise, JSN.
The potential out for Lockett is in 2024. So this upcoming season, the Seahawks could potentially be looking to move on from Lockett, maybe. Because to save some money, there's a significant dead cap hit, but it looks as though there's some other salary decisions that would help them long term on that. There's ways to. So the base salary is $15.3 million that they'd be paying him. The signing bonus is $3.8 million. The roster bonus is $1.6 million. The options $3.2 million, and the restructure amount in that contract is $2.8 million. So the cap hits $26.7 million versus the 19 dead cap hit.
So could they trade him, or would it cost them too much to trade him?
There's still a hit, but I don't know. I don't know that anybody's going to trade for an older wide receiver. It's possible, but I don't think anybody's going to trade for it. If Lockett were to finish really, really, really strong, maybe, but I don't think anybody really even. So tough question though. Very, very tough question. Very, very close call.
Yeah, I just wanted just your weigh in on it, because I'm pretty split, but I lean JSN. So.
Yeah, that's just long term. Like 2024 alone, though, it would be hard to say that until we know what's up. Like, quite honestly, we talk about how there's potential volatility in Minnesota. Well, Geno's not the future of that Seattle Seahawks team. Right. So who is? And so that might be more volatile than an injured Kirk Cousins coming back. That's kind of likely to come back if I had to guess. So that's why I say 2024. I can't really just say, Lockett might be out. JSN's in a much better position. He might be, but who's quarterbacking? So I don't know.
So just to wrap it up, then, if I was, like I said, the kids offer him straight up, JSN for Addison, you would say I would probably want to get more back with JSN, right?
You probably I don't know. I don't know if the market will allow that though, because JSN scoring touchdowns, looking promising, and he was the number one to most people, and people are starting to see what he could become. So I don't know. I mean, and he also feels like, as much as we like DK, is there a world where JSN's better than DK 2 years from now? I think there is. I'm not saying it for sure happens, but JSN has the capability of being the best wide receiver on the team.
Right. Well, that's true. DK could end up somewhere else too. I don't know his contract either.
Yeah, so. DK. Let me pull up DK's contract real quick. DK Metcalf contract.
He's got to be getting close.
His contract is. Let me put it on screen actually. So 2025. He's a free agent in 2026. So, he's locked up for a bit. But there's a potential out for that team as well. Everything comes down to, like, let's say DK couldn't stay healthy for 2 straight years. Like, it's easy to act like DK is going to be amazing, the same value all the way leading up to this, next offseason. But like one bad year The potential out, as you can see in the middle of the screen, is 2025. So they'll definitely roll with them for one more year. And then 2025 is the potential out because the dead cap will only be 11 mil. And whereas the salary would be 18, the signing bonus would be 7.5 million, option bonus 4 million. So if he's playing like garbage, they would rather let him go, take a huge dead cap that they can take it as a lump sum for that year, that off season, or spread it out over 2 seasons, depending on when they potentially cut him or trade him. But DK is a solid player. I'm not trying to make it sound like DK's not capable.
I get what you're saying.
But it's just JSN or Addison could never overtake JJ, but JSN could overtake DK. But again, if I had to guess right now, JSN doesn't have a better quarterback situation because I don't like Geno, and I don't know what they have planned.
No.
I don't know how attractive Seattle is to a potential QB like Fields. Like, what if Fields got traded to the Seattle Seahawks? Then we'd have a huge debate on, whose value goes up, and does maybe some value go down? Do people even believe in Fields to even have that make a lot of like impact anyway? Or are we excited about Fields if he lands in Seattle? I think Fields does go somewhere. I think he does. If Fields doesn't,
on paper, that's really interesting.
Yeah, if Fields doesn't finish the season like a monster, I think the Bears move on. I think the Bears draft a quarterback.
Me too.
I think they trade Justin Fields. I think they still very much feel they're in rebuild mode. I don't think they think they're ready. Their defense is playing a lot better than as of late. They've, I think they really have an opportunity to build to the draft, and we'll see what they do. But man, Fields thrown to JSN would be interesting. I feel like JSN very much mirrors that DJ Moore type of player. I think that Fields could gravitate toward, and DK would do well with him too. I think. At the end of the day, I think Fields in the right offense would throw a lot. I think people think he's a gadget player, quarterback. He's not. He's just in an awful situation.
Right. So, all right. Thanks. I appreciate it.
All right, later, Travis.
I was just curious.
Yeah. Ron Navy, final thoughts. I'm sure you have a little thoughts on the Addison JSN conversation. I know you love Addison a lot. So.
Oh, man, you know how to push my butt. I tell you, I wanted to talk about how I think that Charlie Jones is going to have a very impactful game this week against the Steelers because Chase is out. So
I like Charlie.
That's the first thing.
I like Charlie.
Now, as far as that whole thing with JSN crap, which is crap in my opinion, Addison has the most touchdowns of any rookie this year. Any rookie, any wide receiver rookie, Addison has the most touchdowns. Cousins, if old-ass Aaron Rodgers can come back from an Achilles and we're not worried about Aaron Rodgers, then why are we worried about Cousins, who arguably had the best season of his whole career going this year until that happened? And we factually know that Cousins is able to get the ball around the 2 to 3 wide receivers consistently every single year. Why? It doesn't matter what JSN has in Seattle. Addison can still outdo, and he will outdo JSN in Seattle. Bottom line, that's it. Addison's the best wide receiver, better than JSN, better than a lot of these guys out here, and Addison to the moon. In fact, all these people that I'm going through in best ball this week, you know how many people have Addison? Oh man. They're on the Addison train, dude, and I'm on the Addison train. You know I'm on for Cousins. So Cousins is going to come back. He's going to rip it up, and yeah, Addison.
I love Ron. You remind me of my mom. I know I've said this before to you. You remind me of my mom. You sometimes hear one little piece of something, and then you just convince yourself that I said something because it didn't quite. It went somewhat in a direction you didn't like. And even though it veered back toward the way you were even talking, you heard one thing and you just went for it. Like I said this. I said the quarterback situation's better if we assume that Cousins is coming back. But you're pretending like the Cousins coming back is a lock. What I was saying was
it is a lock. A bona fide lock. You keep wanting to ship him out. He's not going nowhere.
Ron, you don't know that. You don't know what's in store for Cousins. You don't know it.
Guaranteed. Let me pull a Swaggy, okay? Because Swaggy always gets it wrong. Swaggy before in the last, like, you notice he's not around, right? So you need to do a Swaggy alert because he's like, New Orleans a lock to win this game.
Yeah, he disappears when he comes in.
But Cousins coming back to Minnesota next year, it's a lock.
It's not a lock, though, Ron. It's not
right.
a lock. It is a lock. So as I said before, when you thought I went some direction that I didn't go, just because I think you heard one or two key buzzwords and you went, boom, that's what I'm going to attack. The likelihood, as of this moment, of the Vikings having a better passing situation than the Seattle Seahawks for 2024 is better. That's why you heard me say, I even underlined it, Addison for 2024. I lean JSN slightly for Dynasty just because I think he's such an amazing talent, capable of being the number one in the offense, et cetera, et cetera. But because I feel like Cousins going back to Minnesota feels like a greater chance than JSN having a quarterback I love in 2024, because Geno right now is the only quarterback we know of that he's going to potentially have. I like Addison better, and I said that. So I don't know where you thought I said differently. Now, dynasty-wise, it's a very debatable thing. Ron, it's a very debatable. There's a lot of people in here that like JSN as much or equal or more or close or arguable, or they waver Addison versus JSN. These are two very, very good wide receivers that have very much similar upsides. Addison's got a better projected situation, but there's no lock. Cousins is for sure going back to Minnesota. There's probably a good chance, like I said, I don't know if you heard the part where I said his Achilles probably makes him a less attractive player to go get from teams that were about to pay pay bank for him, to maybe influence him to maybe leave Minnesota to get that huge, fat, big contract one more time. But as I said too, JJ's very, very got a whole lot of pull, and JJ wants Cousins back. So there's a good chance, as I said, that the Vikings maybe listen to him and do what JJ wants. So I even said that there's a strong chance he does return, but there's a lot of moving parts to it. It's not a lock by any means. I know you want it to be, but it's not a lock.
Oh, it will be.
It
will be. Call it right now.
Ron, you can call it. You can call it all you want. You can predict it, and when it happens, you can't even say "told you" because it's likely, but it's not a lock. A lock is there's zero chance of it not going down. It's not a lock. Is it more probable than not? Absolutely, because of the injury. But I just don't think. We don't even know. What if he has a setback? What if he does? There's a lot of moving parts to it. I do
what
think.
What if Aaron Rodgers has a setback? I haven't heard you talking about Aaron Rodgers. What if he has a setback? What if he has this? What if he has that?
We have.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers.
We've talked about that all
next year for Garrett Wilson, right?
He's under Ron. We're talking about Aaron Rodgers being under contract. He's a lock to be there. But we all the time talk about, God, what if he re-tears it? What if he rushes it back? What if then Garrett Wilson falls flat on his face again? Then Breece Hall falls flat on his face again. We talk about it all the time, how Robert Saleh probably needs to be removed because he won't prepare himself for a world without Aaron Rodgers because he doesn't want to piss off Aaron Rodgers. And so we very much talk about that all the time. Aaron Rodgers is no lock at his age to come back and stay healthy the whole time. I'm petrified of Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson without a solid backup. So no, you're assuming there, but all I'm saying is the thing about it, you hear anybody remotely say something not in pro Addison fashion or Cousins fashion, you hear one thing. It's all you laser lock on it. Like I said, a lot of positive things about Addison. And I knew you were sitting there going, I heard something.
You go more negative on Cousins.
I didn't go negative.
And Minnesota than you do the other things, which I historically go pro.
Chat, was I negative one single bit about Kirk Cousins or Addison in this entire last 20, 25 minutes? Have I said a negative thing about Addison or Kirk Cousins? I think I've said pretty solid positive things. In fact, I was just in my mind wondering, what's Ron going to misconstrue? What's he going to take and see that and feel that I twisted it and said something negative about Addison or Cousins? I was just waiting for it. I knew you were going to hear one thing and go off in this direction no matter what else was being said around it. You don't even hear it. It's like, that's what I was saying. It's like my mom. I could say, hey, Mom, when I was a kid, I go, Mom, I'm going to back the car out so I can shoot baskets. Your car's parked in front of the driveway and right in front of the hoop. You're not taking my car on a spin. You're not on insurance. You're not. And she'd go off on a tear because she'd hear one thing, Ron. One thing. She heard me say, I'm going to take your car.
Not Addison, the most touchdowns of any rookie in the league right now. Does he or does he not?
Perps. Ron, when have I said anything? Ron, who did I say I'd rather have in 2024, JSN or Addison? Who did I say? Who did I tell? Who did I tell Travis?
Addison will always be and he won't be irrelevant as like JSN, who you think will possibly
Ron.
Medcap.
Ron, who did I tell Travis? Ron, who did I tell Travis that I liked more for 2024?
It sounded like you said it was close, but it's not close.
It's
Addison,
you can't,
100%.
Ron. You hear what you want to hear. Ask the chat. Ron, I have it underlined. I clearly stated 2024, Addison. Okay. Dynasty. I even said it's close. I even said I think I wavered is the words I used, but I lean slightly JSN. Like I made it abundantly clear. Like that's what I'm saying. You heard something completely different. I think you pictured me saying Addison's a bum. Addison's garbage. Nobody should even draft him. In my mind, in your mind, I think you think I said that.
You have always hated Addison
when
he went to Minnesota.
About?
You used to love Addison. As soon as he went to Minnesota,
what? First of all, what is? Let's just say whatever you're saying is the way you interpreted what I said, even in the past. Let's just say when we're talking about landing spots, I didn't love the landing spot as much as I love. What does that have anything to do with all of the positivity I just threw down on Addison being ranked higher than JSN for 2024? Speaking about how Cousins probably seems logical to go back to Minnesota. The injury actually maybe helps for that. How are you hearing anything different? I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's just the way it comes out, dude. But you know what, Smitty? You know I love you, and I love
Ron,
our little.
Nobody thinks. Yeah, I'm not mad at you. I don't.
No, I know you're not mad at me.
I don't get it though.
I love going back and forth with you.
I know.
There we.
Real quickly, perps with the $20 hauler. If Swaggy can come in your chat and call it a lock, then the OG legend from Ron Navy can call it a lock. Says Perps. Perps appreciate you dropping a $20 hauler in order to communicate with Ron Navy. And then Perps drops a $49.99 and says, take 30 seconds to go hit that like button for Smitty and all the hard work he puts into this channel and his community. He deserves it. There are over 300 people in here. We should have that many likes. Go hit the like button. We got 300 in here and 175. Thank you, Perps. Perps gets the $20 hauler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Perps in Smith City, both tonight. They're crushing it.
I got Carlos with a super chat. Carlos says Swift or Mixon or Monty. I'm gonna probably say Mixon's your safe play right now. He's just playing well. They're leaning on him well. It's the situation's very good for him. Had Browning come in and not played well, I think Mixon would have been getting gobbled up. But man, Browning's the reason Mixon's finding room. Now Monty's pretty underrated this week. I think people are giving up on Monty too quickly as a potential, high-end running back too, with the potential for even more. But Mixon's the play. Another solid Ray Rice, K9. Another league, Rashee Rice, K9 or Swift. I'm going to go Rashee Rice. He's been on fire lately, especially if it's PPR. And starting Taylor and James Cook How do you feel about Taylor coming back? I think if Moss is out, I feel really good about it. And Moss is trending toward being out. If last second Moss plays, then I still feel good about it, but to like the 60% capacity. But I think way more than 60 if Moss is out. So monitor that news. Right now, Moss looks to be trending toward out. Singletary or Eckler, start 3 from the following. So first of all, I'd say it's hard for me to sit Eckler, to be honest. I know it's really hard to play him, but Singletary does feel safer. And so I probably would go Singletary, but I wish I could find a way to put Eckler in as well. Because look, you almost have to like let the ship, go into the sea and sink before you like abandon Eckler in a time where he does look like he's still got some juice left. It's just a matter of the offense is not setting him up well, and that could continue. That could be the concern. Like they might not set him up for success, and he goes into the abyss, and we never see him again, and we think he was worse than he was at the tail end. But I think Singletary safer. Eckler should probably find a spot for him. But start 3 from the following: Garrett Wilson, Addison, Lockett, Palmer, and second option in the first question. Let's see. Second option from the first. Okay, so start 3. So good. I'm glad we could find a place for Eckler. So Eckler's a lock here. Ron's boy Addison in this situation is absolutely a solid play. And Ron will probably hear something different, but Addison. And I'd probably say, for me, I lean toward Garrett Wilson. I think it's a pretty easy. That's the pecking order. If I got the number of players that you need wrong, that's the pecking order in case you need to use that. But Eckler's definitely the second choice for me, and then definitely include those other guys. So appreciate you dropping that super chat. We got Wheel Snipe City back on the line. He called back in real quick. Wheel Snipe, what's up, bro?
I'm just sad that we have not hit 200 thumbs up.
Yeah, we're at 183. Wheel Snipe City wants 200 thumbs up. We're at 300 eyeballs 200. In here. Yeah, and if
you get to 200, I will if you get to 200, right now we should be at 250. Honestly.
Yeah.
But I'll actually start it off with just a membership 5.
Okay.
But we should get to 200, quickly.
Okay, you heard it. If we get to 200, like in a snap of a finger, he's going to gift 5 exclusive memberships right now. So if anybody wants there we go, 192. It's amazing how Wheel Snipe City can come in and just buy thumbs up. He gifted 5 immediately. He even did it in advance of the 4 remaining thumbs up that are going to be pending and coming in.
That's right.
I mean, the guy pays in advance.
Can we get to 250?
If we get to 250, look, we have 293 in here.
Let's get to 250.
Okay, 250, and I have a feeling Wheel Snipe City is going to drop something else. So if I were you guys, I would punch that thumb up button. Appreciate you. We're at 197 right now. They're flying in. Got 10 more gifted memberships from Wheel Snipe City. Just giving out memberships like candy. We got 198. Can we make it 250 for Wheel Snipe?
Come on, let's get there.
Okay, all right. Hang tight, Wheel Snipe. Let me get over to Marsman Rockout.
Yes,
Marsman Rockout. What can I do for you, buddy?
Yeah, it's kind of bittersweet for live. Could have used them last week.
Because did you lose in that league? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Alave, doesn't that suck when it lines up perfectly the next week, and you're like, son of a... and get to 250, and I'll double it. So Perps is gonna double it. 250 thumbs up, and you're gonna get gifted membership. Rainstorm coming in. So Perps, appreciate you dropping the 20.
Alert! Super chat alert!
Perps, unbelievable. Thank you, Perps. Rock out. Anything? What else you got? Perps, man.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I need 4 out of. Yeah, I need 3 out of this 4. Let's see. London.
Hold
Addison.
Hold on. London. Addison.
Pacheco, and Chandler.
Okay.
Need 3.
Chandler. So Chandler and Pacheco are locks for me. These are absolute locks. It comes down to these two, and really, London's so spotty, and Addison, as we talked about earlier in the show, with JJ back, he's better because he sees, lesser coverage. He gets to play a role that I think is very, very, how should you say, like perfect for his skill set and the way he plays. And he always finds a way to like catch some sort of back shoulder throw where the D-back jumps in front of him, tries to jump on the pass, and then it's like nobody's behind him because coverage is on the other side of the field, and it's just one-on-one coverage for Addison, and then that's it. Addison's got that slippery ability that if he gets behind you, then he can take it to the house and score one of those touchdowns that Ron Navy loves so much. So I think Addison's probably safest, but I mean, London showed you the other day he can do 110 or 170 and 10 receptions. But the thing is, like, honestly, like at this point, Heineke, I don't know. I don't know that he's capable of doing it the week you count on him. You got 3 weeks left. Addison just feels a lot safer, and Pacheco and Chandler are the picks for me. There's no way I'm sitting those two guys. But anything can happen, Rock Out. You got to trust your gut, bro.
Actually, I need to pick between those 2 running backs, and I need 1 receiver.
Oh, God. I could have swore you said the opposite.
My bad.
Do you think they might protect, since he had the shoulder injury and the surgery? You think they'll use him fully, or do you think they'll hold him back a little bit?
They very well.
I'm wondering about that too.
It's tough to know. I think I'd go Chandler anyway. I just feel like he's like their heart and soul right now. But it could crap the bet on you, man. I mean, Pacheco, top 7 to 10 capable at any. Probably go Chandler and Addison. Unless you have to start 1 wide receiver, right?
Yeah, between Addison and London.
Yeah, then I'd probably go Chandler and Addison. But it's super close, bro.
Yeah, they're pretty close. I think they're like a point off from projection.
Yeah, very, very close. All right, Rock Out, appreciate you, bro. I'm going to cycle everybody out the phone line because I got to get going here. But appreciate you, my man. Look at the chat. Hey, chat, can you vote on Pacheco, Chandler, and then London, Addison? Please vote on those 2 for Rock Out. Pacheco, Chandler, please drop a vote. London, Addison, please drop a vote. Will Snipe City says, I got a question. Is this... What are we saying here? I got a question. Is it this? Who do you think the best at each offensive skill position is? What are we saying there, Will Snipe? I mean, little profanity there.
Can I talk?
Yeah. Keep it as chat friendly as you can.
Yeah, I'm just curious because obviously fantasy points are one thing, skill sets are another thing. Being a good blocker doesn't get any fantasy points. So I'm just curious, do you have a number 1 at each skill position, QB, RB, tight end, wide receiver, that you think is the best in the league at their job? Fuck fantasy football.
Okay, that's a good question. I mean, I would say from a quarterback perspective, I mean, it was Patrick Mahomes. I don't think that changes because of one bad year. Everybody has a bad year. There's a lot of factors involved. But certainly I think there's some question marks right now as to whether some other QBs could catch him or be in that conversation. Hurts was that guy, and then now the Eagles are falling apart for 3 games, so it's super hard to say. I would say still would be Mahomes. I think at the end of the day, Mahomes has proven to us time and time again that he's that guy, and it's a bad year. So I'd probably say Mahomes, but they got the top 5 quarterbacks are all in this conversation. I know a lot of Niner fans are going to say Purdy already and anoint that guy the savior, but he's not a top 3 quarterback yet from a long-term
I actually
skill.
listened to Cam stuff, and I like what Cam said about game managers.
Yeah, I mean, Purdy's definitely getting into the top, 6 to 10 conversation.
Okay.
It doesn't mean he'll even stay there. It doesn't mean he won't advance further. Like, he's still got a lot of progression to go, but he does have so many. Like, no one here is saying, and at least on my end, that he's a game manager only or anything like that. But for anybody to pretend he doesn't have the best situation known to man, I mean, he does. But that's all part of it. You can't take it away from him.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I would love you to continue and say the other skill positions too.
Yeah, okay.
I'll
So
throw a couple of gift memberships too.
Yeah, you what?
I'm going to throw some gift memberships around while we listen to you say you're number one at each position.
Thank you, Wheel Snipe. I appreciate you. I mean, this is a good question because most of the players like in consideration right now. Like let's get CMC out of the way. CMC is the best running back in the National Football League. Plain and simple. Yeah, I mean, so that's out of the way. Like who's competing with them? You got Kyren playing at that level. Mostert for one season. That's not going to happen again in future seasons. He's going to be 32 years old next year. Kyren's up there. But it's McCaffrey by a mile. At wide receiver, I mean, good God, man. It's really hard. It's really hard not to say JJ isn't, and it's really hard to say it too because he's, hurt everybody's feelings. But
we don't know who's going to be quarterbacking for Minnesota next year.
Well, Ron's got that on lock. He says his Cousins. It's locked and loaded, 100%.
Okay, all right.
I'm just kidding, Ron. But
that's wide receivers Tyreek Hill right now.
Well, okay, so I'm getting there. So JJ probably for the future, and JJ probably, I would say, after 2024. So we'll give Tyreek one more year, but Tyreek and JJ are certainly almost at the same level. Like Tyreek, maybe because JJ is injured, has disappointed. There is some questions around who's quarterbacking there. In my opinion, there's questions. It doesn't mean that Cousins isn't very likely to be there, but there's enough question marks for me to say, can they get what they need to out of JJ next year? So Tyreek for 1 year, but at the end of the day, it's going to be JJ. At the end of the day, once Tyreek starts slowing down, he is getting older. He has one more elite year left, and then he starts getting maybe banged up.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I want to go back to running backs. So if we're getting Christian McCaffrey out of the situation, who do you think is number 2?
I mean, Gibbs is up there. Kyren is up there. I would say Achan's going to be in the conversation.
Is in the running?
Absolutely.
I honestly think that I might use Kyren and Puka as my keepers. And I honestly wouldn't have either one of them. I got them in a trade for an injured Justin Jefferson and DeAndre Swift. Both players that I only had because of you, probably.
Hey. Well, remember, Puka, I was not high on coming out of week 1, just to be honest and fair and everything.
No, but
I jumped on it quick. I jumped on it quick, and I said I was wrong.
Yeah. And you actually told me to start him today.
Hey.
That's a
Wheel
real
Snipe.
thing. I'll talk to you on the phone.
I know. Wheel Snipe. Kyren on the board. I've had it here the whole show. Kyren top 3 running back.
For real. Okay.
Top 3. So,
I think I might keep both those motherfucking Rams.
All right. Family friendly. Monetization friendly, Wheel Snipe.
Sorry. So, who's your number 1 tight end going into next season?
Laporta.
Laporta.
Not even a question. I think the entire fantasy industry has locked into that.
3? Is McBride number 2 or 3?
Is who number 2 or 3?
McBride.
Yeah, I'd say at least top. He's in the 2 to 4 conversation. Some people are going to have Hawkinson still up there, and I can understand that, but McBride is in the 2 to 4 conversation. No doubt about it.
I sold low on Laporta and bought in early on McBride. He's my tight end right now, you know.
Yeah. All right, hang tight.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Are you a fan of the Cardinals?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm a Cardinal fan, but everything's fantasy first for me. Everything's NFL first.
Right. But you like that team?
Yeah, absolutely.
I liked when Emmitt Smith was playing for that team. It was kind of a cool moment in the history of the NFL.
We've had Kurt Warner. We've had Emmitt Smith. We've had Adrian Peterson. We've had Adrian Peterson. We bring in a lot of guys when they're at the end of their career.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, man. Love you.
I appreciate you, bro. I'm gonna cycle everybody off the phone line. I'm gonna end the show. Wheel Snipe, appreciate all the super chats you've been dropping, all the gifted memberships. We got Wheel Snipe dropping the 10. We got Perps dropping that $50 and the $20 hauler. Appreciate you all. Wheel Snipe, we'll see you later, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Drop a Wheel Snipe City emoji. He's got his own emoji, so go drop it. All right. Krillo's on the phone. I don't know if you guys remember Krillo. Krillo and I have a challenge. We have a challenge. Remind me of our challenge, Krillo.
Email, man. 150 push-ups.
150.
On the Giants and the Eagles. I got the Italian stallion.
Bro, you're gonna get worked over in that. I'm just letting you know. You better come through. You better come through, bro.
Well, I was trying to say one of the 2 games, but I don't know if you're trying to be fair or not.
No. You're the one. No, you're the one that came in and you're the one that came in and said guaranteed they're getting worked over in this game if the Italian Stallion's in there.
Yeah, one of the 2.
No, you changed it to 1 after you got called out on it.
No,
you've already accepted.
There, bro.
You've already accepted it. You've already accepted the challenge.
Because I feel like they can. I feel like the Eagles' slump is like the Giants are riding high right now, dude.
Okay.
So it can happen.
Are they really?
Happen.
I don't know, bro. I don't think
they've been winning.
Okay, so if the Eagles win, I'm gonna send. He's gonna be on video. You can send me a video. Well, you can send me a video. No, I want you on the screen. I want you on the screen here doing push-ups until you can't do them anymore. Because I have a feeling you're not gonna be able to do 150 very quickly. I have a feeling you're gonna be sitting in the corner taking breaks, and we're just gonna be sitting here doing a show while you're taking a breather, trying to do another 10, trying to do another 15, trying to do another 20, and I'm gonna sit here and enjoying this. So if the Eagles win, that's you. That's you.
There's not that you can lose too, Mike. Man.
Yeah, well, I'll pop out 150 in 3 sets right here and move on with my day. But I will do it. I will pay up. I will pay up. I will owe it to you if the Eagles lose the game. But Krillo, you better show up.
Yeah, I'm gonna show up.
All right. Krillo to the moon. Anything else, Krillo?
Real quick, I don't trust Waddle this week.
He can be hit and miss.
Like
I understand.
Yeah, he can go off, but he can also get like less than 10 points.
Perps.
And, I just feel like Breece Hall or T. Higgins are a little bit of a safer play. Which one of those 2 do you prefer in a flex?
In PPR, T. Higgins.
In PPR.
T. Higgins.
T. Higgins over Breece?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like Breece, and I don't want to sit him, but, bro, what did Breece do last week? And it wasn't his fault, but, like, it doesn't matter. So it is what it is. This offense is garbage. They can't move the football. I hope they run the ball like crazy. I hope the defense supports the run supports the D, and they have some sort of weird game. But, I mean, T. Higgins just,
it's an O-line problem, too, right?
Yeah, T. Higgins is getting nice targets. He looks really good. His head's on point. I like it. All right, bro. Got to go. Appreciate it, Krillo. Call in after the game. I want to make sure we take care of that. All right, later, bro. All right, Harry from San Francisco. You got a real quick amount of time. I got to go, bro. You're on mute.
Hello?
What's up?
Hey, how's it going? Real quick, anyone who hasn't hit like is probably watching on their TV. It takes 3 clicks to hit like from your TV.
Good
to
know.
That like.
Good to know. Hit that like button 3 times. Don't turn it. Don't like it and then turn it off though. But yeah, okay.
All right, I got all 3 of my leagues going to playoffs. I have questions for 2 of them. Those are really quick questions. The
Okay.
first question is pick one, Mixon or Metcalf.
Probably Mixon. Let's defer to Ron on this one. Ron, what's Mixon going to do against your Steelers?
I think he'll. The way we got run through last week, yeah, I'd go with Mixon.
Yeah. All right. You heard it there, and I agree. So what's the next question?
That locker.
Next one. Next one is pick two out of these four: Aaron Jones, A-Chain, DeAndre Swift, and Singletary.
H-Chain's a lock as long as he's playing. He's trending toward playing. Him and Tyreek are both expected to play from everything I hear. They're upgraded to limited. You don't normally get upgraded on Thursday, if things aren't trending that way. But setbacks can happen too. But H-Chain's a lock for me. I don't even hesitate. And it comes down to Singletary and who was the other one? Singletary and who?
Singletary and DeAndre Swift.
Singletary and Swift. Okay, so Swift, you got the Giants. I like the matchup. Singletary, tough Cleveland defense. I think Singletary's a good play, but I think the matchup makes me want to go Swift. And I may have answered this different. I may have answered this differently on another question, but I've admittedly been wavering on Singletary. If there was another Swift Singletary question, I'm switching over to Swift. I just feel like the matchup's too good.
What about Aaron? What about Aaron Jones? I forgot that's the fourth guy.
I can't trust him in semifinal week, bro. Not yet.
Got you. That's it. Thank you, Smitty.
All right, bro. Appreciate you. Ron Navy, final thoughts.
Didn't Swift ball out against the Giants in the first time they played? I think he did. I can't remember. If I remember right, I think Swift had a heck of a game.
Let me pull up his game log. But he feels a little rejuvenated. I feel like he needed to, like, similar, as I always say, rookie walls. He had one even though he wasn't a rookie.
Best games. But I'm not sure. I could be mistaken, but I think that was one of his best games.
Yeah, he just needed, I think, a breather. He had 18 carries last week, 4.1 yards per carry. Hasn't been getting the targets as consistently as I would like, but Giants, okay, he had last game he played the Giants, he
didn't do good? I thought he did.
Wait, maybe he did. Hold on. Oh, it was the Jets. Okay. I don't think he's played the Giants. He plays the Giants this week and then at week 18.
Oh, they haven't played yet?
No, they play almost back to back here. They have Arizona in between, but they play the Giants twice in the next three weeks.
I thought they played once already.
No, you're probably thinking the Jets.
Yeah. It could be. New York.
All right. Anything else, Ron?
Yeah, you earlier you were talking about you'd start Eckler against Buffalo when Pollard couldn't even do anything against them. You would still start Eckler against Buffalo?
Depending on the options.
I think
yeah.
Buffalo's going to tear him up.
Well, he's a receiving back too, so I think they check down to him a lot. I think he does get utilized, but it comes down to it. Like if you have Chandler, it's Chandler. If you have Singletary, I lean Singletary. Just like I did in that question. But then Eckler reemerged in his flex questions, and he had 3 players to choose. And, I mean, when you start talking about, very questionable plays, Eckler's got to go in.
Chargers are like the Steelers. Their offense stinks. They're not doing nothing.
That's why Chandler's better than Eckler. That's why Singletary's better than Eckler. But, again, I threw Eckler out of the debate with Singletary. But then when he said, now pick 3, Eckler, Addison, etc. Eckler, Addison were 2 of the 3, but I mean, it just depends on your scenario. It's case by case. Eckler's certainly not earned a start over much more consistent playing players right now. Like Rashee Rice, I'd start over Eckler in a millisecond. Chandler, I'd start over Eckler in a heartbeat.
Okay. Well, I was just surprised when you said you'd start Eckler, and I'm like, I wouldn't touch him with nothing.
Well,
I wouldn't touch any of this.
It just depends on the options, man. I mean, it's all going to be based on who he has. I mean, I think in his question it was, okay, Singletary, Eckler. I said Eckler. And here is the question. And then he needed 3, including the one I didn't pick, so Eckler, because I picked Singletary. So Eckler, Garrett Wilson, Addison, Lockett, Palmer. I mean, Palmer and Lockett over Eckler? I mean, I can understand it, but it's not. I don't think it's anything to shake your head over, It's the Garrett Wilson, Addison, and Eckler are the 3 players I would play and leave Lockett and Palmer on the bench. I mean.
Yeah, I guess. Have you heard anything on Christian Watson?
Nothing really good. It's just the same shot every single day. It's like he's questionable to even take his next breath. It's just constant. Let me see. Hold on. It's such a disappointing year for Christian Watson. He's so good. He's so talented. 6'4", 4.38 40. Unbelievable.
Ever since he got in the league, injuries.
Unbelievable player. Still a lot of upside for the future, but I mean, at what cost though is going to be the question. If you can get him very cheaply, then it's going to be something you maybe look into. If you can't, then you're not going to even go near him. But his status, no practice again on Thursday, hamstring, non-participant. He's just not going to be healthy all year until, we'll just have to hear he's healthy and he got over the hamstring and he's ready to go for 2024. And if he's going around 7 or 8, then guess what? I'm going to grab him in a couple leagues. If he's going any higher than that, hell no. But I do love him a lot. I do think he's an amazing talent. So we'll have to see. All right, Ron, appreciate you, bro.
Yeah. We both agree on that one. We've both been high on Watson.
Yeah.
I mean, we drafted him. Kind of want him to. I'm hoping that he plays because I need him.
Yeah.
I need him to play on my best ball.
All right, later, Ron.
All right, later.
See you. Niner Matt, you got. I could give you 30 seconds, bro, and then I'm hanging up on you because I gotta go, bro.
I just had a quick message for Ron Navy. I just wanted to tell him something real quick, but he was talking. I know this had nothing to do with fantasy, but last year he was talking about how the Niners don't have the best don't have a good traveling fan base. I just wanted to let him know, according to Vivid Seats, the 49ers have the best traveling fan base in the NFL. 48% of opposing stadiums during road games this season. So I just wanted to let Ron Navy know that. So that's all I got.
Yeah,
I'll call you later.
I guess I would say, first of all, you're as biased as they come, but you're not wrong, I think, in this context. I don't know where Ron got that from or if he's trying to just rile you up, but I would say, based on guessing without hearing any data at all, that you guys are one of the best traveling fan bases because I've seen you come here. Yeah, you infiltrate the Rams stadium every time you visit them. There's massive tailgates everywhere. There's like, people rapping outside with speakers everywhere. Like wherever you guys go, you guys travel really well, and there's a lot of noise. So I don't know if he was just trying to rile you up. Probably, but I don't think anybody really questions that the Niners travel well. I think he's.
Well, I was at the game in Pittsburgh and Cleveland, and it was a lot of red there. So I think they took over there too. So
yeah,
that's pretty good to take over those teams on the East Coast.
Yeah, the Niners.
So that's all.
Like the Cardinal fan base barely travels well to the Cardinal Stadium. The Niners will come from San Francisco and or all of California compile into the they were taking over our Cardinal Stadium, so I can tell you firsthand that they travel very well.
Well, there's more Niner fans and Raider fans in LA than Chargers.
Can we also say this?
Fans.
Can we also say this though? There are probably more bandwagon potential fans though that they get attracted.
Oh yeah, but you have that everywhere, Smitty. I mean, you know that. I mean,
because it's easy to people jump on the people jump on the wagon. But I will say most bandwagon fans don't travel. That's a big commitment. So I think that some of your more hardcore fan base probably will be in that traveling group.
Yeah. I just wanted to. I saw it on Facebook, and somebody posted out
I think Ron's messing with you. I think he knows they're a good traveling team.
Well,
All right.
I mean, the Steelers are a good fan base.
All right, gotta go, bro. Gotta go. Appreciate you. Later. Later. Elvis, you got 10 seconds because I'm out of here, bro. I gotta go. Appreciate you, Elvis. Hit me with it. Elvis, hello? Yeah, I gotta go, bro, so make it snappy. I'm trying to hang up for 25 minutes.
Okay, I'll make it as snappy as possible.
Yeah.
I end up playing Olave tonight. I've got Adams and A-Chain to pick from for the flex, but I love how beautifully Olave played, and you called it. It's been great. Just being a follower of Smitty has worked out real well for me.
I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. And Olave did look glorious. I hope he continues to stay healthy and has a nice long career. I hope he gets a good quarterback. I hope New Orleans knows what they're doing, building around him. I don't want to see Carr back there, to be honest. I don't want to see them rolling with Winston. They got to do something.
I think they need to draft Penix. That's the one. He belongs in New Orleans.
Yeah,
he would be the one.
You need to find your version of Stroud. You really do.
Yes. That's Penix. He's a pure passer.
That needs to happen. It needs to happen for Olave. Like, one thing we're going to consider more strongly this year is London, and I think Olave's done pretty well, but he hasn't been exactly what we've wanted him to be this year. But these sophomore wide receivers that we love so greatly, even Garrett Wilson, he did he had a good situation, but it's all these sophomore wide receivers that are kind of crawling, back to good value, but still hit and miss. It's all quarterback situations. It's all horrible quarterback situations, and some of it you could see, Aaron Rodgers getting a torn Achilles, maybe getting banged up and missing games. That was kind of in the cards, maybe for an older quarterback, but tearing Achilles, that was a random act of craziness. And but man, so Olave's future will very much depend on who's throwing the football to him. We have to keep that into consideration.
Yeah. Well, I know you're logging off, but my only question is, if they're both healthy, and because Olave worked out, I had Kyren Williams as well, who had a decent day. Not a great day, but a decent day.
Kyren had a great day.
Would you play?
What do you mean?
Well, he didn't have more than 20 points, which is where he lives.
I mean, I guess I could see, but 104 yards and a touchdown, fantastic. I get it. There's no PPR points there. Game. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
You were wanting
That's
glory.
All I'm saying. But yeah, we're saying the same thing. We're saying the same thing.
Okay.
But what I was gonna say is, A-Chain and Adams. That's gonna be my dilemma going into Sunday, I guess, at this point. Because I have to start Diggs. I can't not play Diggs. But Olave gave me a lot of options because he really produced.
I mean, bro, I get it. Dallas is a tough matchup. Miami Dolphins play the Dallas Cowboys. It's in Miami. I get it. It's a little bit scary to throw a running back up against that Dallas rush D, but the Raiders are playing the Chiefs, who are pretty hungry too. They do try their best to kind of shut down the number one wide receiver. They're going to do their darndest to make a statement in this game. O'Connell played really well last week, but we've seen this happen before. Potential teeter-tottering of different outcomes for a quarterback like that. Chiefs are going to throw everything at him. I firmly believe that there's just not a world where I can sit Achane. And I know everybody thinks that I was supposed to, people came in going, now you ready to move? No, I'm not ready to move. He still had 9 to 10 points. It's not what we wanted, but you can't always score elite production. Kyren, if he didn't punch that touchdown in, Kyren would have had a mediocre day.
That's true.
So
that's true.
I'm not worried about Achane. Achane's it would be very hard for me to sleep at night if Achane had, who is the number one scoring running back in a single game this year. He has the number one fantasy football outcome in a single contest this year. I would not sleep well at night knowing he had 2 touchdowns and 150 yards on my bench. But they're both good plays. I almost wish you could play both of them. I don't know who else you could throw on the bench.
Well, but that's what I'm asking you is really do I dare sit Diggs and play Adams and Achane?
I sit Diggs before I sit Achane, but I do think Diggs has a good day. The Chargers are it's It's like a Pop Warner team they're going up against. And the Buffalo Bills need to win. And so they're going to put their foot on the gas pedal. Maybe they take them out in the fourth quarter or something, though. But if they do that, that means they're up so much that they scored a bunch of points. So
but he scored 20 by then.
Here's what I would say, bro. Who's older of the Diggs is older too. So who's the one? Who is the better quarterback? Who is the best quarterback?
Oh, for sure, Diggs.
No. Out of all three of them, let me put it this way: who has the most questionable quarterback out of all three of them?
Adams.
And who has the most questionable offense out of all three of them?
Adams.
Yeah. So like logic to me says there's potential. Adams has 150 and 2 touchdowns, but he does feel like he has the most potential to be up and down. And I just don't want to be on the down when you got 2 options like Achane and Diggs. But trust your gut, bro. Anything can happen, bro.
No, but you're right. I would agree with everything you're saying. It's just I sat Adams last week, and it ended up working out because I played Jaden Reed instead. But
all right,
this is the second week in a row I'm sitting him. But you make great points about Achane.
Trust your gut. Trust your gut, though, Elvis. Trust your gut for sure. All right, I gotta go, bro. All right, later.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. Phone line's closed. I don't care who calls in. I'm actually minimizing it. It's closed. Okay. Perps, appreciate you. And Elvis, that was not meant toward you like I had to get off the phone from you. I need to go. Almost 250 thumbs up. Let's go, chat. Hit the thumb up button for your boy, L. Smitty, the GOAT, to Saturn. Let's go.
To Saturn.
And it has nothing to do with one. I want to hang out with you guys. I'm just so tired. Oh, we got super chats sitting on here. TM42, Javonte, Wandell, Wicks, Parker, Washington. I'm going to go. Good God. TM, are you still here? Corey, you still here? And Aiden, are you still here? I'm so sorry about leaving you hanging here. Good God. Aiden dropped a $20 hauler. Aiden, are you still here? I'm sorry, Aiden. Sometimes I get myself caught up in too many phone calls and I need to go and I let it string out. And then before you know it, I forget about something that I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to this in 1 second. Finish your, Aiden, I'm sorry, bro. Aiden, are you still here? If Aiden's here, I'm going to be very, very excited. I feel really bad about Aiden. TM, let me know if you're here. Corey, let me know if you're here. Corey's here. Yes, Corey. Corey says start Zeke if Stevenson doesn't play or over Eckler. Zeke's a tiny bit safer, but I probably go Eckler. Zeke didn't exactly do anything the last 2 weeks on the ground, bro. Is all receiving that one game when he was running back 1 and a very low-scoring running back. Aiden's here. Aiden, I'm so sorry, bro. I'm so sorry. I don't want to discourage you from dropping a $20 super chat ever again. It's my bad. Zeke, I'm going Eckler. TM42, I'm sure, is here. He lives here. There he is. Yeah, I knew that. You notice how I didn't even freak out? I knew TM was here. But I'm sorry I made you wait. This question, I'd probably say Javonte. Like, I put it in the hands of the best player on the board, and then the best player of your group is Javonte. And the $20 hauler to Aiden, appreciate you.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Aiden, thank you, my guy. PPR Mullins, Heineke. Probably Mullins. He's got better weapons, you could say, and potential to throw more. But I don't love the options, but Mullins definitely could be better. 3 running backs, 4 wide receivers, 2 flex. Good God, 3 running backs. I would say, Zamir White if Jacobs sits, but Jacobs is probably going to go. I'd say Eckler, Hall, and Javonte. No, McKinnon. Eckler, Hall, McKinnon. Your 4 wide receivers, obviously Puka, Waddle, Lamb, obviously, and Jaden Reed for me. That'd be your 4 wide receivers. Your 2 flexes would be Scary Terry and Zeke. And Zamir White instead of Zeke if Jacobs doesn't play. That would be my order, but definitely Mullins. So great questions. Very, very tough ones. Wheel Snipe City. Actually, I need to go over to these other screens. I think I have another super chat here. Amazon Joe. This is not one I didn't answer. Amazon. I think someone said Amazon heard that I said Puka. So I'm glad Amazon Joe got that taken care of. Perps with a $20 hauler. I think I celebrated this one. Thank you, Perps. Appreciate that. And then let me go back to this screen. Wheel Snipe City with a $20 hauler. How much does Ron think a lifetime should cost? $275. I think he's talking about my The Fantasy Football Show membership, where you can buy a lifetime membership. Wheel Snipe City's even promoting right now. That's what he's doing. In a $20 super chat, he's trying to be a promotions coordinator here, just doing God's work. Thank you, Wheel Snipe. The membership goes for $199. Wheel Snipe City's trying to say I need to charge more because he loves the brand. He's promoting the hell out of me. He's an absolute gem, this guy, Wheel Snipe. He says $275. It's $199. Go get it. Go copy a membership. Anthony, what is the news on Jacobs? Right now, he got downgraded to didn't practice from expected to play and be back this week. So we're kind of in limbo on it. It could just be a rest day, like a maintenance day, and then tomorrow we hear he's off the injury report or they expect him to play. So, Anthony, tomorrow on my news show, 8 p.m. Eastern, you'll hear me give you an update on that one. Start 2, Bijan, Brees, JT, Zeke. JT, even if Moss plays, I still play JT. If Moss doesn't play, then JT by a mile. And I probably lean... God, hey, chat, can we vote on this one, Brees or Bijan? Not Zeke. Brees or Bijan? Everybody please drop your vote. Brees or Bijan this week? Bijan's got a great matchup. Brees does not. But Bijan's got Arthur Smith. And Perps with a $20 hauler. Appreciate you. Perps says, almost at 250 likes. Let's hit that thumb up button for your boy Smitty. Appreciate you. I think I already, actually, yeah, that's the one you did earlier. Thank you, Perps. Appreciate you for that super chat. You're the man. Let's send you to Saturn one more time. To Saturn. And let's see what the chat votes on this one for Pepperoni Tony. Pepperoni Tony needs to know Bijan or Brees. Bijan or Brees. Better matchup for Bijan, but he's got a horrible head coach. We got a Bijan, a Brees, a Brees. We're tied so far on the votes. Bijan vote. Brees vote. Brees, Bijan. Start DK or Smith. I probably lean Smith. Brees. Perp says Brees. Bro, I have Bijan and Brees, says Harry, and he's crying. Can't trust the villain. Arthur Smith is on the hot seat, though. Is there any planet past the moon or Saturn? Yeah. And you'll hear about that later, bro. We used to say Pluto. Pluto is not a planet. It's a dwarf planet, but it is the furthest, and we initially were going to go that route, but we didn't. Bijan. It looks like Bijan won the vote by a hair. I don't know how much I almost trust the matchup with Arthur a little more than the bad matchup with no Zach Wilson. So, Pepperoni Tony, I'm going to lean Bijan by a hair, but I almost want you to come back to me with that one. That's a tough one. All right, guys, appreciate you. Yeah, planet Uranus, but that's a bad place to be. You don't want to be on planet Uranus. I'll see you all tomorrow. We'll probably be live at some point during the day. We'll probably do some drafts during the day, something like that. Underdog Fantasy, if anybody wants to draft with us tomorrow, code Smitty. They'll double your first deposit up to $100 using code Smitty. That link is pinned in the live chat. That link inserts code Smitty for you. It's in the live chat. It's in the description of every video. And you can also just use code Smitty. I will see you all tomorrow. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you to Wheel Snipe Selly. We got 20 gifted memberships from Perps still pending in the chat here, being gifted out like an absolute monster. Perps has been dropping them. Wheel Snipe City's been dropping them. Ron Navy's dropped them. So many other times before. Christopher Smith going nuts before. I just want to thank everybody. Didn't have to happen tonight. People have been gifting those memberships like crazy. Perps with a $20 hauler. Wheel Snipe City with a 20. Aiden with a 20. Perps with a 20. Perps, appreciate you, bro. Another one. Perps with that 50 earlier, too. Perps is an absolute monster. And Freddie dropping that 20 to start off the $20 hauler run. And then, of course, we have Pepperoni Tony, Anthony dropping super chats. Will Snipe City dropping another super chat. Corey dropped a super chat. TM42 dropped a super chat. Christian M dropped one. Carlos dropped one. Carlos dropped another one. Wayne F dropped one. Wheel Snipe City dropped another one. Andre, Vampy, thank you, Vampy. Skyward dropped one. Mike GP dropped one. Wheel Snipe City again. Christopher Johnson dropped one. Or Chris Johnson. Fields of Dreams, thank you. Jester, Anthony M, appreciate you. Super dropped one. Andre Vaughn, appreciate you. Bill Bill C, appreciate you. Fields of Dreams again. Andre, Ryan, Gerardo, Ron Navy dropped a $10 hauler at the very beginning with Herb and Little Nicky, and Joe Salters dropping that first super chat of the night. Appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you all tomorrow. We'll be drafting tomorrow. Hit that promo code Smitty. Underdog Fantasy will be drafting tomorrow. Thank you all. Hopefully Amazon Joe played Puka. Until I hear from him personally, I'm leaving him up here. At least for another day or two. But if Amazon Joe's out there, this has been like 4 days in a row. I'm trying to tell you I answered your question and you bailed before I did. D-Town says Arthur Smith is expecting people to bench Bijan so he'll have him play 25 touches. Exactly, bro. That's my thinking as well. Hassan with a late super chat here. If K9 is out, flex Sharps over Flowers and Chandler. I'm playing Chandler probably no matter what. But Chandler versus a solo starting Sharps is a debate to be had, Hassan. So, Hassan, if that happens, we need to come on here and debate it and vote as a group. Because that's going to be close. But it has to be solo starting Sharps versus Chandler. Right now, I lean Chandler. Thank you, Hassan, for the final super chat of the evening. I will see you all tomorrow. Sorry, I know I'm not bailing early. This is a 2-hour and 5-minute super show, but I gotta get some rest. Later, everybody. Appreciate you.
He's Kyren. He's 7 feet tall, and he knows how to handle a ball. He's Kyren, he can take frowns and turn them upside down with his touchdowns.
Alright, prepare for take one. Alright, action.
He's a box score Bobby. He's a little sloppy. Box score Bobby. He's a box score Bobby. He's so sloppy. Bobby.
But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10.
This man, Jahmyr Gibbs, he looks better than Kamara looked coming out of college, more prepared to become Kamara. Schmitty, did you just say Gibbs was more prepared to become Kamara than Alvin Kamara was prepared to become Kamara?
Got him.
And we are out. Deuces. See you later.